Hey everybody, Cool Old Guy here. Today we're going to do a review of the Shurflo oil change system by Pentair. It's for changing engine oil, automatic transmission fluid. You can change antifreeze solutions and low viscosity gear lubes. The pump is a 12 volt DC pump that has run dry capabilities. You got a 3-gallon bucket here. You got 8-foot electrical leads with alligator clips, and you got an 8-foot suction hose with a hole in the top of the bucket to insert it after you get through changing your oil. Now, I've already used this to change the oil in my Yamaha SX240 boat engines, and I'll go ahead and insert a few clips right here to demonstrate a few things about the system. Alright, so the first thing you want to do before starting this is figure out how far to put the tube down in the dipstick hole. So what they recommend doing is taking the dipstick, go to the top of your dipstick here, then they say to add an inch and mark it so you know how far down to put it. So there you go. We'll run the motors and warm it up and go from there. Alright, so we run the motors a little over 6 minutes. Go ahead and shut them off now.
The president did when he suspended all travel from China.
So the first step on the Shurflo oil change system instructions is to run your motors for at least 5 minutes and get the oil temperature up to 185 degrees. So this is a real important step in the process to get the viscosity down on the oil so the pump can pump it. Alright, so we're going to get to it. Alright. So that's in. Connect the cable leads, the pump leads. There we go. Turn it on and see if it works. And here it comes, look at that. Coming right up. Now I primed this pump first. Actually, they say you don't have to, that it'll pump dry. But I went ahead and primed it, put a little oil in it so it wasn't dry when I first started it up. Alright, so far so good. Nice and quiet. Alright, so it's getting toward the end of the run. We'll time this. Alright, so it took it about 5 minutes to get to this point, which is just about done. It's a 4-quart system, so it took about 5 minutes to do 4 quarts, which isn't bad. Alright, so far this thing's the bomb. I was able to pump the oil out of both of my motors and hold both of them, and now I'll be able to take this bucket and empty it into a container so I can dispose of it. A suction tube. And they have a nice little hole right here in the top that you can put your tube in. There we go. Now I can change the oil filters and add oil. Okay, so now the pros of the system, as I see it, is it's a robust pump. It's got run dry capabilities. It's a very quiet pump. Got the long electrical leads that allow you to get to your battery easily. You've got the long suction tube that allows you to get to your engines conveniently and easily. You've got the 3-gallon bucket, which gives you a 12-quart capacity and allowed me to do both of my engines without emptying the bucket. It's got well-written instructions on the bucket. And then one of the bonuses is the tube, the hole at the top of the bucket for inserting the tube when you get done, so you don't leak oil all over the place from the end of the tube. Got a few cons. I'm picky, but there are a few cons. Keep me from giving it a 5.0. As far as oil change systems go, it's it's one of the upper tier systems, so it's a little pricey. You can buy cheaper systems. I mean, you can buy oil suction pumps all day for $34, but then you're going to get what you pay for. I bought one 3 years ago, and it went tits up on me this year, so I ended up doing some research on the internet and decided to go with this system here. But to say it's a little pricey is true, but for similar systems, it's in the same at the price point. So another thing is it is top heavy. Now, that's not an issue once you get the anti-tip over mechanism connected. But and the instructions do caution you about connecting this up, but it really is the first thing you need to do. Once you get the lid on the bucket securely, then you need to hook up the anti-tip over mechanism. And I'm calling this a con for me because it was hard as hell for me to get it hooked up, but it was doable. And then just the package itself, the system, it's a little awkward to store. It's not real neat, and that's being really picky. So with those cons, that just really keeps me from giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. I give it about a 4.9 just because of those cons. But in conclusion, I mean, seriously, I'd buy it again. I like the system. It's a well-built product, and it does what it's supposed to do. And I look forward to using it again on my Duramax and on both of my cars. So that's the Cool Old Guy's 2 cents worth. I hope this helped you out to make your mind up. You have a good day.